Guys, we're going live with the incomparable Coach Gordon, or Coach Cromwell Gordon, more more provincially known as Coach Bullet. All this and more on the latest edition of War a Week Boxing.
Proudly presents Big Time Boxing USA on War a Week Radio.
Well, thank you, Emmanuel. Guys, we're being treated today, and he's going to talk all about strategy for Davis versus Martin, and that's the incomparable Coach Cromwell Gordon. Bullet, how you doing, sir?
All is well, baby. It's all good. You know, another day in the gym here at Top Rank. Getting sweat.
I tell you what. Is your gym still, if I remember correctly, it's about 25 miles outside of Vegas?
Now I'm actually with Top Rank over there and at Mayweather's training fighters at both gyms.
That is excellent. Congratulations, brother. I tell you what, always staying busy. I like the shirt, man. I need one of those. Where can I get one?
Man, you got to go online about a week, man, and look me up. You know what I'm saying?
I love it. I love it. Tell you what, big pay-per-view coming up. And, Coach, we know how you feel about activity. That's obviously a fighter's worst enemy, inactivity.
Yes.
Yeah, this is a big problem because both main event combatants, they haven't fought in a year. Let's see, to be exact, Frank Martin last was on Showtime last July, which has been 11 months. And Tank Davis, he fought last April. So this isn't good. And you're talking about two counterpunchers now. So why does it seemingly affect inactivity affect counterpunchers so dramatically?
Because your timing, you know, your reflexes, you know, just being sharp, just, you know, and then on a big stage like that for a world title, in front of all those people, you know, sometimes you may gas yourself out trying to rush the timing. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of hard to be laid off that long, man. Guys should be fighting like 2-3 times a year, staying big, especially 12-round fights. They're not even 16.
Yeah, you know, jeez. Fighters today would virtually piss their pants if they had to fight same day weigh-ins, 15 rounds.
Oh, definitely. Well, one thing I will say though, a lot of these fighters would like to fight more. It's just the business side of the game that's kind of jacking up some of these hungry fighters. Hungry fighters want to fight all day, man. That's what we fight.
Yep, that's it. And you know what? You're right though. Activity. Now, once again, Emmanuel Stewart taught me this. Like, this is why you have so many injuries. This is why you have so many lengthy, brutal camps for 4 to 6 weeks, sometimes 8 weeks, and when you're active and you fight once every month and a half, once every 2 months, you don't have to have that lengthy camp. Is that accurate?
That's accurate. And you don't have to do all that extra tough sparring where a lot of their themselves in sparring. And then you get used to a sparring pace and not a fighting pace, which is two different pace.
Yep. Yep. Just ask Adrian Broner. I remember first time I saw him spar with Mike Stafford, the late great Mike Stafford. Adrian Broner used to brag that he used to have these long 15, 20-minute rounds. I'm like, well, that's why he doesn't let his hands go in a
Exactly.
fight,
Exactly.
because he gets used to what you just said, that sparring pace.
Yeah.
Chin
Everything that you do in the gym translate into the fight. Per per se. You in the mitts, right? What you do in that mitt, you're gonna do in sparring. What you do in sparring, you're gonna do in a fight. And that's just how it goes. We're creatures of habit. The human
Yep.
beings were creatures of habit.
I tell you about your wise beyond your years, coach.
Absolutely. Thank you, boss. Boss. Great parents, great parents.
Oh, and there it is. There it is. And Gus from Austin, Texas, he says, yep, Coach Bullet knows his shit. Indeed.
Boss
Indeed.
in the house.
And there it is. Toby Bartlett from across the pond, the UK, says, salute Joe, Coach Bullet, and the chat. Salute to you, my friend. Thank you for being here and supporting Coach Bullet on this day. Also, SSP Diving, thank you for supporting the coach on this day. And I tell you what, let's just dive right in, brother. You had seemingly an excellent fight plan, and it was working for 5 rounds before someone got anxious and just lunged in, falling out of position, let his chin wide open right in the air, and got tagged. What did you do that was so effective and neutralized Tank Davis's strength for 5 rounds?
Well, the thing is about boxing a particular fighter, a particular style, you have to obsess with that opponent before in fight camp. So I pretty much obsessed over every fighter we ever fought, especially fighting for against Tank in the biggest fight of Rolly's career. I watched 2-3 times a day. I watched every habit he had, every great thing he did, everything he did bad, everything he did, you know what I'm saying? So I just had to dissect it on a daily basis. I went to sleep with it, woke up with it, and we came up with a good game plan. But ultimately, the fight game is about experience and it's about opportunity. Rolly had the opportunity to change his legacy. Fight for Tank was more of a relying experience fight. You know what I'm saying? It kind of played out as the rounds went on when, it was time to adjust to chasing him and keeping the fight in the middle of the ring and him lunging forward and going in there defenseless, because he got so much power. It's hard to believe in other people's power. People got power too,
Oh, yeah, especially Tank Davis. I mean, look, when you see him spar with 16-ounce gloves on and bigger guys, he's still hurting him in the gym, coach.
Exactly.
Like ringside. Yeah, that power is real. And he almost lulls you to sleep because did you know that going in that he's not going to fight your fight. You're going to have to fight his fight.
Listen, the first round, everybody discussed the first round knockout. Not going to stand still for the first round at all. Even if somebody bet him $1 million to stand, was going to offer him better. He was not going to stand with Rolly. Rolly, at the time, speed, power, precision, just sharp. I had him like a fine-tuned V12 Mercedes,
Yeah, so it looked like you were giving him a lot of problems with that intelligent jab, mixing in probing jabs, feints, hard sticking jabs, changing levels, changing angles. And it seemed to really, really befuddle Tank Davis. Is that what Frank Martin has to do? And you think you're going to see that with Derek James making up the strategy?
Frank has to do that, but Frank also got to put his weight behind his punches to make Tank respect his power. If Tank don't respect your power, he's going to walk through you because Tank can take a punch.
So, when you're looking at this, coach, and I know you observe everything, you've got that great coach's eye and that great mind. How different is it going to be, and who do you think this is an advantage for, Tank Davis or Frank Martin, the southpaw position?
Well, I'm going to tell you this, and I'm going to give credit where credit is due. I think Calvin and Tank and their teamers on one accord. I think they've had a long career together, and everything is in sync right now. career. So I think they have the upper hand as far as going through every moment, every step, and every stage of the fight. Derrick James, another great legendary coach, versus Calvin Porter, another great legendary coach. I feel like it's going to be a chess match, but it's also going to be an egotistical fight, meaning that the ego might make the mistake for the fighter instead of what the game plan really is, which happens a lot in boxing.
Yeah, you know what? You're absolutely right. It does happen a lot in boxing. And how do you keep that in check, coach?
Well, like I said, your corner just has to keep reminding you over and over again. And then as a fighter, you have to remember the magnitude of fight that you're in and the legacy that you're fighting for.
Mm,
We're not here to
mm.
get a check. We're here to make 10 times over the next fight. You feel me?
Yeah.
And you lose, and when you lose that fight, you go down in your purse. You win, now it exponentially grows, you know?
Yep,
And that's the beauty
that's
about.
it. Well, I tell you what, we also want to thank Mr. Rasclot222. He says Frank Martin won't pose any problems. Tank will use Frank to work on things. Do you see it that way, or is that just not giving a real blue chip prospect like Frank Martin, a legitimate contender, not enough credit?
Well, I think Frank is a legitimate contender, but he has to play his game like we just discussed. If he decides to fight Gervonta, then he's going to be in problems. But if you want to go 12 rounds and win on points, even if you win three more jabs or three more shots than Tank each round, or whoever your opponent is, you win because he could honestly do that. But
Yeah.
keep that energy? Can he keep that conditioning? Can he
Mm,
sustain that awareness? Can he keep his antennas up at all times? Because Tank is great at adjusting.
yeah. Yeah. Tank is a complete fighter. Do you think that Tank doesn't get enough credit for being the chameleon, being the complete fighter that he is?
I think he gets enough credit. I mean, I remember giving him that he was actually one of my favorite fighters going into that fight. But because I'm with my fighter Roddy at the time, I let him know, we're coming to get that, but he's very gamed. He's very game.
Mm,
It's nothing like experience. That experience
do you?
factor, man, kills a lot. Look at Canelo. Canelo
Yeah.
is another one of them guys. He's got experience, you know.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. And I tell you what, we're going to get into another fight, and that's the co-main event. And well, we'll see if it comes off. Of course, we're not going to say anything right now, but we'll see if it comes off. We're going to analyze it anyway. But hey, we're not going to jump the gun. We are going to. Are you ready to play fact or fiction, Coach?
Yes, sir. Let's get it.
Here we go. Floyd, please, the honors.
Hey, we ain't ducking and dodging nobody. It's time for fact or fiction.
Thank you, Floyd. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Here we go. Number one, my friend. Fact or fiction, Coach. Tank Davis will win a tactical, unanimous, but controversial decision over Frank Martin this Saturday. Fact or fiction?
Fiction.
You think we're going to see a knockout?
Yes.
Which round, sir?
I give it 10.
You don't think it's going to be a mid to late round stoppage?
Yeah, 9, 10 rounds. 10 rounds going to championship rounds. If you got a guy too comfortable going to the 10th round and he's up, he might just decide to box you and you might end up losing if you're behind on points if you're Tank, because Frank Martin does throw a lot of punches and he will build a points advantage early in the fight just by his style. When Tank is a later guy that comes in and make the adjustments and then add on to what he's gonna do to finish off the fight. He's a closer.
Yeah, he is a closer, indeed, as we've seen in Mario Barrios. He was potentially, well, ostensibly, well, it was a very competitive fight. I think one of the judges' scorecards had him losing going into the round of stoppage. Now, what does Frank Martin have to do to take advantage of those seemingly early rounds that Tank, well, he looks like he just gives them away. Those are throwaway rounds for this guy because he's got
Yeah,
that one hitter quitter, right?
Frank has to go in there and take advantage of the points game the first 3 to 6 rounds and just don't overdo it, but just beat him by, like I said, 2 or 3 shots each
Yeah.
round. You land 2 or 3
Yeah.
more than your opponent, you win the round. And don't gas yourself out.
Yeah. Yep. Play the long game. Play the long game.
That's
So
12-round
I,
situation.
I tell you what, it's going to be a really interesting fight, guys, and that's your main event of the evening. Now let's go to the co-main event, and that's going to be David Benavidez versus Alexander Gvozdyk. Now, a lot of late money is coming in right now, and a lot of people are picking Gvozdyk for the upset. But like we said earlier, we don't even know if this fight's going to come off, and you guys will find out tomorrow when they make their grand arrivals. But we'll pretend or kind of just go through the motions like it's going to happen, right? David Benavidez, um, has he bitten off more than he can chew with Alexander Gvozdyk? Because Gvozdyk, most people don't realize that Alex, that's Canelo's chief sparring partner. He's staying sharp, sparring Canelo Alvarez. Most people don't know that, right? In Oxnard. So is David Benavidez moving up in weight? Is this going to prove to be his toughest test to date, or will we see a much stronger version of David Benavidez at 175?
Going to get to. Benavidez is going to be a beast at 175. Listen, nobody at 68 want it, and 75 don't want it either, because he's going to be bigger, stronger, and ain't got to stress his body out at that weight class as much as 68.
Well, one thing I will say that Jose Sr. stated, he said, look, the reason why David mentioned in an interview that we're getting closer to the Canelo fight is because, yeah, they're talking Turkey with Turkey Al Sheikh. And it looks like they're going to be able to offer that price out demand that Canelo made. And they're going to force him to put his money where his mouth is. And if they do come up with that astronomical guaranteed purse amount of, let's say, $150 million, is there any way Canelo doesn't go through with that fight?
I think if Canelo wants to retire, he will do that fight. If he wants to continue being a high-paid, respected fighter and don't want to pass the torch yet, he don't need to fight Benavidez.
Yeah, he has to. There's a mandate, isn't there, from the fans, from everyone.
Listen, Canelo right now in his career, he has one thing to prove, which is beat Benavidez, but that's only to a real boxing fan. To a businessman, where he is now, sealing his legacy, he ain't got to do shit he don't want to do.
So that day, you know what? Truer words were never spoken, sir. I tell you what. So let me ask you, Coach. Do we see this fight finally come to fruition in September?
I would love. I'm buying front row seat, and I don't never buy front. I want to see Canelo versus Benavidez or Canelo versus Bud Crawford. I'm going front row.
Oh boy. So which one happens in September, sir?
I'm looking more like it'll be Terrence Crawford and Canelo instead of Benavidez. I think Canelo don't want to pass the Mexican torch yet to Benavidez. That's what people need to realize. Once he fight Benavidez, it's like Chavez to De La Hoya. Chavez passed the torch to De La Hoya.
Yep.
And now, it's like Simba, soon to be king. Benavidez is Simba, soon to be king in the Mexican super middleweight division. He's going to be the face of fucking Mexico, the face of boxing. And Canelo not ready for that yet. He still got another 150 million.
Yeah, tell you what, he's acting more like Scar, brother.
hey, listen, his name is Money Canelo now, okay?
Oh, Chingao, that's just what we need, another money. Oh, hey, but I tell you what, though. I tell you what, though, Gvozdyk, though, you can't look past Alexander Gvozdyk, though. This is a guy who used to be pound for pound, but coach at age 37.
Keyword.
And, let's hear it.
Used.
Oh, yeah.
That's true. How old is Benavidez? He's young. This is Simba. He's Simba of boxing. And I'm telling you, that his opponent is a stepping stone. I don't give a damn who they put in front of him. That boy's a killer.
Yeah, he's a killer. And
he has fought so much adversity from his weight as a kid to facing a lot of ridicule and stuff like that. I think he's a man now. He got a lot of good help in his corner. a lot of good help in camp. I
Yep.
think he's just in a position now to take over boxing.
And you know what? That very well may happen. He looks the part. He sounds the part. He speaks very well. He's bilingual, good-looking kid, in and out of the ring.
And he
Great
ain't been in no
ambassador for the
wars.
sport.
He
Yep.
hasn't been in no wars. He's fresh. He's like an 18-year-old,
Yep.
an 18-year-old pro fighter. And no bumps in the head, he ain't been knocked out.
Yep, that is true. Now, let me ask you something, Coach. He looks like a phenom. Because how does a guy that big, that lanky, get so much leverage on his shots, but have that same hand speed and quickness? And he's so quick on the draw. Have you ever seen a guy like him at six? What is he? 6'3"?
Yeah.
6'2"?
6'3"
Like, he's a phenom. You
Yes.
never see guys like that at 168 or 175.
Yeah.
How far can he go?
I don't want to overstep this, but his punch volume and style look like a Sugar Ray Leonard. There's a bigger version. How Sugar Ray
It's
Leonard,
crazy. Yeah.
multiple combination. I mean, not the very same style of skill set, but the hand speed and, like you said, how the speed comes. But it comes from the legs. That's where it comes from.
Yeah. Now let's go back to Gervonta Davis, Frank Martin, because I forgot to ask you this. Well, let's look at the odds. Let's look at my favorite book, which is the BetMGM. And right now they have Gervonta Davis listed as a minus 700, which is 7-1 betting favorite, and Frank Martin at a plus 450, and that's a 4.5-1 betting underdog. Do you agree with those odds, or do you think they're a little too wide?
I think they're a little too wide. I think they're a little bit too wide. I would say a 3-1 odds is maybe sufficient.
Yeah,
But
I agree.
But that spread right there, Hey, you know what? Vegas knows some things we don't know sometimes. Yeah, they know. I live here 18 years, man, and those betting be.
Yeah, those
Calling you.
handicappers.
Come here, give me that million. Give me that 2 million.
You know what? Those handicappers are right, statistically speaking. Now, over 85% of the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right.
Absolutely.
But 7-1, Coach, especially when he hasn't fought in over a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna take honestly, I think it's gonna take half the fight for him to start getting his eyes adjusted to the timing, rhythm, the movement, the
rhythm.
speed,
Yeah.
all of that.
About. Yeah, exactly. 100%. You're right.
So we'll see. But hey, it's time for Fact or Fiction again, my friend. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Here we go. Number 2, Dave Benavidez will be losing his fight with Alexander Gvozdyk on the judges' scorecards before stopping him in the 11th round of their scheduled 12-round co-main event this Saturday. Fact or fiction?
Fiction.
No. So you see it much earlier.
Benavidez let his hands go and crack that boy with some heat. That's it for his ass.
Where do you see that fight stopping?
Like I said, I give that fight 8.
So
8
you think it's gonna resemble a lot closer to the Arthur Beterbiev fight?
Exactly.
Oh boy. You think he's damaged goods, Coach?
It's not that he's damaged goods, it's just Benavidez is just that good.
Yeah. Honestly, guys, yeah, and honestly, when you see it in person, when you see him in the gym, his hand speed is sick. It's something to behold, and he's got such a quick draw. It's almost like Dan Marino behind quarterback, right?
Yeah.
He's got that quick release. It's silly how it's a straight line. There's no fat on that steak, brother.
Hey, it's like a Tesla in insane mode.
Very good, man. Very good. I tell you what, we want to welcome also my brother Khalid to the show. Salute, y'all. Wow, Joseph, you got Booker T on the show. Oh, stop it. Oh, that's hilarious. And you know what, dude? I'm a wrestling fan. I love me some Harlem Heat. So, that's not a bad thing, Coach.
Booker T, my guy. He's a good dude.
Yeah, he's from Houston, Texas, man. He's a great guy, actually.
That's what's up.
Or at least he's commuted to Houston, Texas, anyway. Here, number 3, and this is a fight that's going to be the second on the pay-per-view portion of the card tomorrow. or this Saturday. Number 3, fact or fiction, coach. Gary Antoine Russell will earn a mid to late round stoppage over the game Alberto Puello from the Dominican Republic to win the interim WBC junior welterweight title. Fact or fiction?
Gary Russell gonna beat him for sure.
Yeah, that kicked and cracked.
And I will say the late rounds if Gary starts slow, because Puello throws a lot of straight lefts, but he's not gained as a Gary Russell. Gary Russell is a monster.
Yeah.
Monster for boxer. His boxing abilities, IQ is high. It's up there.
Yep.
People don't know his repertoire, and it's a mean one. He got a lot of shit in his arsenal. Got a lot of power and a lot of artillery.
Yeah, oh boy, he's the hardest puncher of the, and that's saying something. He by far though the hardest punching Russell.
Yeah,
he can crack.
He's explosive, man. He's explosive.
Yep. Sky's the limit for this kid, but he needs to stay active, coach.
Yes, absolutely. That's my only thing with him. Puello was supposed to fight my guy back in a couple of fights ago, and
I remember.
He got popped for whatever he was using or whatever is in his blood. And I feel like when guys get to that level where they got to use or try to use, or even if it's just like a vitamin that has too much testosterone, and it shows that your time is starting to tick, brother.
That's a very good observation, coach.
You feel what I'm saying? Because there's no reason you have to try to find this and this product and this vitamin or whatever. Sometimes these guys take these things and sometimes they know, sometimes they don't know. For me, it's, hey, hard work. Stop.
Yep.
Don't look for no easy way out. Just do the hard work, damn it. So I
and there it is, coach. Guys, we're here with Coach Bullet, and he's giving us the breakdown for this fight card this weekend. And Toby Bartlett says, you know what? David Morrell followed David Benavidez up to 75 and says he wants that Benavidez fight. Coach, is that the best fight outside of Beterbiev Bivol that you can make at 75 or anywhere?
Yes, absolutely. David Morrell, he's a monster puncher too. But let's keep it 1,000 again. Is he ready for Benavidez with the more experience, the more size, the more length, the more combination? Is he ready for that?
I don't know if anyone's ready for that, coach.
I mean, you get my drift. Like I said, man, everybody wants to fight to get to the top fast, but sometimes you just, if you're worried about your career and being that dog one day, you got to watch what dog is holding on the territory at that point. And my bad, what lion, what beast is holding down that territory. You know what I'm saying?
Indeed, guys. And Coach Bullet is not telling any lies. And honestly, I think I would love to see this fight mature in terms of money as well.
Yes.
Because I don't want to see these cats fight for peanuts.
No, exactly. It got to be $5-10 million purse.
There it is, guys. There it is.
Those guys are going to mess up their own careers and legacy to be a fan-friendly, fan-pleasing fight.
Now, Coach, we get this from time to time, right? And once again, Rascalot, thank you for supporting the coach on this day. He says, I feel like Benavidez low-key is avoiding David Morrell.
Morrell just don't have the bag, bro. I mean, if Morrell had the bag and all the accolades and the respect, I think Benavidez would go get him. I think it's the fact that Benavidez not trying to fight for peanuts. He's trying to fight for what he deserves. See, what people have to understand is that we're prize fighters. Once you get to a certain prize, it only has to get bigger. If it gets lower, we don't want to train as hard or go as hard because you already spoiled to a couple million. Why go fight for $500,000 in a tough fight?
Coach, and there's a saying in boxing, right? Within the business, there's no such thing as boogeymen, just non-ticket sellers.
There you go. Thank you. That is 150% accurate. Can you put some beats? Can you make my family legacy a little bit better and wealthier? What's cracking?
Well, let's go back to let's stay on the 140-pound weight division for just a second more. And number 4, factor 50, coach. Subriel Matias this weekend will smash Liam Barro this Saturday in Puerto Rico and remind everyone why he's the baddest dude at 140. Fact or fiction?
Oh, man. I don't know who's gonna go in there with that killer and really just go the distance. You understand? But I will tell you this: if Liam Parrow could really go in there and find a good body shot, he might have a chance.
Mm.
But
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think it
but
happened. I
yeah,
put a
but you.
million. I put a million on Matthias real quick. It went to like a pro. You know,
Yeah,
I've been out to Matthias.
yeah. Well, look, here's the big bad thing about Super Matias. We've seen him buzz, we've seen him hurt, but this guy is in such great shape, training in the high altitude, the mountains of Mexico. Coach Panda doing a tremendous job. He's in the same camp with William Zepeda, and look, he recovers very, very quickly because he's in such amazing shape.
Absolutely, that's key.
So that's why he's a machine and he can just let his hands go ad nauseum. What
And
chance?
the fighter
Like
down.
what? Like really, realistically, coach, what chance does anyone right now at 140 have? Because you know damn well that Bill Haney isn't looking for a unification with Subriel Matias.
Yeah, I don't think. I think the 140 division has a couple of guys that just gonna stand out, and that's what it's gonna be. It'll be Teofimo Lopez, and it's gonna be
Mm-hmm.
Matias. That fight right there is one I gotta see. I want to see it. I want to see Teofimo athleticism, speed, and IQ versus Subriel Matias for a good $1 million payday for them boys too. You dig?
Oh my gosh, and that is a style matchup, coach. That's like peanut butter and jelly, brother. You
Hey,
got to go there for matchmaking, man.
hey, I'm trying to tell you, I should be a matchmaker, man. Boys.
Well, are you when are you going to start up your promotional company, man? Because you
Well,
already know that you've got a commentator and ring announcer right here, brother, who's going to be willing to do it for free just to get you started, my friend.
oh yeah, August 31st, I was working on something with legendary Thel Torrance with our Platinum
Mm.
Promotion and my other guys that for a couple of guys out here in Vegas that has their promotion license. We was gonna do some stuff together, but we're still trying to wait for the whole deck to be put together because I do want to have a couple of title fights on there and then start like
Mm-hmm.
so. Anything after August 31st is when I'll be able to announce when my first co-promotion or my first step into the promotion game will be my debut as a promoter or co-promoter.
Very good. We look forward to that, brother. We look forward to that beautiful day. I tell you what, guys, we only have about what 15 more minutes with you, coach.
I mean, yeah, we oh yeah, about 15. They're already in there getting started.
Yep. So we better wrap this up, guys. So we've got one more. Here we go. Number 5. Trainer Robert Garcia is correct when he states Frank Martin will prove to be Tank Davis's toughest assignment to date. Fact or fiction, sir?
Fiction.
Oh,
Tank's toughest opponent has been Rolly Romero. And the only person that could beat Tank to this day is a smart, experienced Rolly Romero. Nobody else was going to put the fear with that power, speed, and athleticism in Tank like Rolly. Even though I don't train him no more, he's still one of the baddest punching motherfuckers I've trained and I've seen. And even Tank admit he knew if he had slipped up, it'd have been night-night for him. So that shows you right there. Toughest opponent, just the fact that experience wasn't a factor in that situation.
now, coach, is there a possibility that we could see a potential reunion between you and Rolly Romero?
I feel like I've done enough in this boxing game with Rolly, and I feel like, I look at him like damn like a son to me. But when guys go and they listen to other people that ain't put a dollar, a sweat, a blood, a tear into their career and give them more respect, I think that is the ultimate disrespect to me and the team that we have, me, his dad, Larry Wade. And I don't think I could go down that road again with him. If we had a real sit down conversation with his manager and they understand that I am the leader, I am the head trainer, and things go my way or the highway, possibly. but there was things in the camp where it was just too many hands in the pot that spoiled the pot. Let's just keep it 1,000 with that.
Yep.
I'm going to
Well,
keep it respectful and take the high road. I just wish him the best in his career. And if Louis Kuba want to call me and we can discuss some things, we could go from there and rebuild that young man's career. But if not going to listen to me and understand I'm chief, that's why it's called a chief second, you
there
know,
it is. There it
then
is.
there's nothing to discuss.
And there it is. We've got a couple more for you, Coach. Number 6, Arthur Peterbiev will not be ready by October and will be replaced by David Benavidez to face Dimitri Bivol for the WBA Light Heavyweight Championship in Saudi Arabia later this year. Fact or fiction?
I don't know. I mean, I would like to see that fight though. Bivol and Benavidez. Hell yeah.
Yep.
Fact or fiction, make it a reality, damn it.
Well, look, a torn meniscus is not a light injury.
No, at all.
I don't see how he's going to be back by October, Coach. I just don't see it.
No, that's like a football injury, man. That shit takes time.
That's it. That's it. I'll tell you what, Coach, we'll let you go. We have one more, though. One more for you. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Here we go. One more. Do you want, let's just do this one. Number 9. We'll skip to number 9. Bomac is correct when he states Seabass Fundora will stop Errol Spence Jr. when they meet this October. Fact or fiction?
Now, this is another one about a young lion and somebody that his last performance was a C-level performance against Bud Crawford. Not once again, not to discredit anyone. I think the version of Errol Spence that we're accustomed to is no longer there at this moment. And if he takes some time off, will he ever get the hunger back? But if he continue fighting, will we get an A-level back? So the Fundora is not smart enough to outbox a A-level Errol Spence. But as you can see, a C-level Errol Spence, anybody can beat.
He's going to be food at 54, huh, Coach?
Yeah, especially if he's not an A-level, but an A-level, man. He would beat anybody still. If he could, and I wish and hope and dream, and everybody and boxing fans that love Spence and, what him and Derek did in his career, I think they're rooting for him. But, right now, it's about health. It's about health, and it's about, being intelligent.
Yep.
Your life.
Very good.
And I kind of
well said. Nothing's worth it. Once again, your health is your wealth.
Jeopardizing his life or his health anymore.
Yep. Speaking of which, Coach, bonus factor fiction. I don't have this one listed, but Mike Tyson, Jake Paul was just rescheduled for November. Do you see this one crossing the finish line, or do you think this fight never materializes?
It's never going to materialize. If Mike got an injury in a fight or whatever it is, he's older now. He's 57 years old. Injuries take longer to heal the older you get. That's just the human body. That's just wear and tear. So if he's injured now and he'll go back in the training camp to fight for that, it's going to be worse. Everybody loves it. And we would love to see the old dog, the one that, sold all them tickets and knocked them motherfuckers out like that. Excuse my language. But, it's just the time is Father Time, man. He plays no games, and you better stick to his rules.
And there it is, guys. We're going to have to let Coach Bullet because it looks like his guys are ready to get it on in the gym. Tell you what, Coach, we need to do this more often. God bless you, brother. Thank you for taking time out for us. And tell you what, I need one of those shirts, man.
Oh yeah, I got a whole box right here. Send me the message on the address. I'll get one over. Send me a size.
God bless you, man. Do you have size elephant? No, I'm kidding. I'm not that big. God bless you, Coach. I tell you what. When you have more time to catch up, we'll do that. And but thank you for your time. Thank you for the beautiful breakdown. And do you have any parting shots for our listening audience, sir?
Just want to say, man, murder, 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 kill, 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 and look for Bullet and his team. I got another couple guys that's in the making. Maurice Lee, Serena McCoy fighting for another title. My girl in Colima, Mexico. I got a couple other prospects like Jacob Cuevas, El Cocoy's fighting again. I think we're fighting in Texas. I think we're fighting Texas. I'll let you know about that. And
Very good.
keeping the career running, man. Boxing is our life.
There it is, guys. On behalf of the incomparable Coach Bullet, I'm Joseph Aaron. You've been listening to War Week Boxing. Have a great evening, everybody.
Blessings.
Affordable Value presents Big Time Boxing USA on War of Week Radio.